we're here with Taylor, Terry, and Joe. Welcome, and thank you for coming to our show and being part of this. Now,
Welcome.
You are Enspirati artists. I got that right.
That's correct. You said
That's a hard thing to say. Tell us about each yourselves a little bit and the kind of arts that you do.
I'm a water media artist. Some would call it watercolor. I use all sorts of things that will be dissolved in water. I teach. I've been painting for 30-some years. I'm represented by Nuance Galleries in this community and other galleries out of town. Spent 18 years in the tropics, and that has heavily influenced
That's
my...
Kind of
oh, yes,
you.
it loosens you up.
That is incredible,
Yes,
huh?
I've been very fortunate.
You mentioned a lot of things where you have representation at a gallery.
Yes.
And you've been painting and a successful artist for many years, and you have, you tell us a little bit of story before we're going to get to, but you had a traveling show based on content that you've been inspired through Tampa, right?
Correct. It was called the Hillsborough Collection.
The Hillsborough Collection.
Yes, and I paint. Basically, I'm an environmentalist. I tend to paint the precious lands that we have, not always accessible to the general public. So I paint them and then give them to the public to see, so we know how fortunate we are, and how we have to protect those properties now still being used by the public.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It's a message.
Thanks so much, Taylor.
Thank you.
And
we're
Terry,
going to get back to you. We just want to get through everybody and let everybody have a wonderful story. Terry, what you got, baby?
Wow, well,
You got to talk real close to the mic.
excuse me, yes. Anyway, I'm a Florida artist for 35 years, down from Buffalo, New York, in the Midwest and Great Lakes.
Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, that's what got me down to Florida.
Okay, well, there are a lot of people come from New York to Florida. That's cool.
Well, my wife and I were fresh out of school in '72 and came down here to get work at Disney, but only made it as far as Tampa, where we stayed, and have been business people here, artists here, all that time. I did end up doing some work at Disney. I've done work in the amusement park business. I've done carousel horse restoration, dabbled in the 70s, I painted a lot of vans with airbrush. But for the past 20 years, I've been a mural painter here in Tampa.
You said mural painting?
A mural painter,
Oh, that's
proudly
awesome.
so. I've done homes and businesses, but I think probably my proudest thing is doing schools. I've been lucky enough to have worked in over 50 schools in Hillsborough County.
Oh, I think that's great. So
And,
your art is
wow.
everywhere, and you're leaving a legacy behind, too.
Exactly. It's not where the public sees it so much, but hundreds of kids
You're
see
leaving a legacy.
That's
Joseph,
fantastic.
and
Joseph.
you're sitting there all quiet. I want to hear from you.
I'm the last one, yeah, thank you. I started at a very young age, and I started roaming junkyards looking for found objects and put them together. I knew nothing about art, so I'm self-taught. And then from there I went to painting, and then I found out at 12 I was colorblind. So I used to get an argument. Someone said, "That's a green face." I said, "No, it's not." So I said, "I'd better find another medium." So I chose stone and bronze. And these are a couple of my works right
That's
there.
bronze?
And-
That's
and-
not
That's bronze.
cherry wood?
No, cherry wood.
But you go and get your own stones, and you go to the far ends of the earth to get it and bring it back here, don't you?
Well, there's some stones that I have a studio in Italy, and so there's some. Italy is the stone center of the world, so that's a good place to pick up stones. So when I'm there, I make choices.
Must
and
cost a whole lot of money to FedEx them back.
Big time, yeah. I don't do that anymore because the euro's up.
Well,
home.
what do you guys think about tonight's event and what it does for Enspirati?
Okay, I think it's wonderful. We need to do more of this. As you know, the government has cut funding for
Everywhere.
art.
Constantly.
Everywhere,
Art.
I think it's a bad move, but I'm probably going to get killed by some sports people. But we spend so much money on sports. Let's say here in Tampa,
the Bay Area,
and the money doesn't stay here; it goes out. But art stays here. We buy materials here, so we support the community. The sports don't. Okay.
Fortunately, right now, Mayor Iorio is heavily into the arts, and she has a good balance to it.
Yes.
So she is helping out a lot. Taylor, what do you think about tonight's event and what it does for other artists?
Oh, I think there's no question it's a very large positive step forward. And I feel my job is to go out in the community now with all the artists with whom I interact to encourage them to join Enspirati and then help it grow. Because as we grow, so will the things we're able to offer. And that's
Sure.
what's very exciting. So there are many organizations in which you can be members, but most of them are like, will help you with the show and that's it. Enspirati will help you not only grow, They give you exposure, and then when you go and join game, you get all the international attention as well. So I think Malcolm's come up with a winner.
Inspiration comes from different things for the different arts that you do. Terry, what inspires you to do your murals or to do your art?
Well, I don't want to exactly echo my
No, please.
I'll share.
No,
She's good.
I'm a tree hugger. I'm an environmentalist. I ride my mountain bike out into the woods along the Hillsborough River, and I paint paintings in the woods on the river. When I paint for myself, when I paint from my heart, I paint what I see that gives me joy. And I'm not an artist that paints from misery or depression. I can't paint when I'm sad and unhappy, but I can paint when I'm happy, and I do that a lot.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. So artists can make money. You sell your stuff, but you make money. Joseph, you're very successful in your art. You just made the mention of it.
I've been luckily very successful with my mural painting business, and only lately, for the past 8 years, have I tried to insinuate myself in the fine arts world here in Tampa. I've belonged to some organizations and have found the camaraderie and the common feeling of the artists in Tampa are we have an army of artists in this area who are only too happy to do what we do. And if we can sell some things doing it, so much the better. But we're going to do it anyway. But it would be really nice if we had
make a couple dollars off it.
Make a couple of bucks
So
here and there.
do you feel that you're and please, honestly, you can jump over the table and hit me in the head if you want.
Oh, I'll
but
do it anyways.
Do you feel that your mural work is just a substance in order to sustain your life and be able to now explore your fine arts? I know it's a legacy. I know it's a portion of inspiration for children, and that's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But that's really hopefully the catalyst to get you to be able to sit in the woods and paint oil or canvas and that stuff.
My mural business supports my art painting, my fine arts habit. But I gotta say that painting the murals, while they're finite, because all walls come down, all paint gets painted over eventually, it's not for immortality. Be like this gentleman right here if you want immortality. Work in bronze and stone.
Work in bronze and stone.
But murals, especially in the capacity that I've been doing them in schools, is not only do I do the murals and contribute to in an educational aspect, but I also get to inspire young artists.
Oh, that's
You know,
incredible.
There's a place for you in the world.
I do know, before we get your
very
contact
good.
information and before we go to our break, we do want to present you three with one of our Creative of the Week mugs for each of you.
Oh, coffee's going to taste better
You
in the
can mix
morning.
paint in it. You can drink coffee out of it. You can put paint thinner in it. You can put a chisel in it. You can put some chisel dust in there. You put a little mortar.
But we do have to go to break. So why don't you guys give
I'm
us
just
some
giving them
contact
ideas.
information about your website where people can find more art, your displays, where they can go to see you guys. Joseph?
Okay, yes. My website is www.josephRotella.com, and there's a few galleries in the area. One is Great Artworks in West Chase. The other is the Art at the Plaza in Bel Air Bluffs. That's
Bel
two
Air
areas.
Bluffs, very nice.
Yeah.
Good,
And you
good
must have a
market to
slew
be
of
selling
place-
stuff in Bel Air Bluffs.
Terry, you must have a slew of places people can check you out.
Well, I have a big orange dinosaur in front of the Museum of Science and Industry. But actually, I do have a website I can give out if anybody's interested in the various facets, and that would be clarenart.com, which is spelled KLAARENART.com. And
get all the information
that's
you need
my
about
website.
you.
It's all there.
Love it.
Thank you.
Now, Taylor, pretty much everybody knows you in the art group here locally in Tampa and probably everywhere else. So, but where can people get more information about you?
Well, you can find me on my website, www.taylorikin.com. And you can see my current work at Nuance Galleries on Southdale Mabry.
Oh, sure.
And in other galleries throughout the United States, but it's just easier to stick with the local. Contact me and I'll let you know where to look.
Oh, wonderful.
But
Thank
don't
you so
forget,
much.
this is a global webcast too, so people need to go check out your website.
Art Source in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Wonderful.
Yes.